Hi, I'm Toni Williams, and this is Brooklyn Savvy.
Hi, I'm Toni Williams, and welcome to Brooklyn Savvy. We are delighted to have Dr. Melony Samuels. Now, you are the founder of a campaign against hunger. So we're going to be talking about food insecurity and all things related to food on this episode of Brooklyn Savvy. But before we get started, let me introduce our Savvy panelistas. We have Phyllis Whitethorn, Colette Ellis, and Maria De Longoria. Thank you, ladies, for joining. So, Melony, I was reading that there are about 14.9% of New York City's residents are food insecure. What does it mean to be food insecure?
Okay, so you're correct. 14.9% or 1.2, which is commonly said.
Yeah, 1.2 million, right.
1.2 million.
That's a lot of people,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah, that's
It
too,
is.
too many.
It's too many, especially in an economy like this.
Right,
But more
it's embarrassing, quite honestly.
It is, but more so. Food insecure means that you have individuals, you have families, including seniors or veterans, who cannot afford to purchase food. And I want to make this clear because there is food that they'll purchase, but it's not healthy food. And it's very difficult to put healthy food on your table. And so they become food insecure. They can have, like many times we refer to areas as food desert. And you wonder, how do you equate a food desert with so many fast food in the area?
Right.
And that's where we have food insecurity, because families, they do reach out at times, could put food on their table, but again, it's not healthy enough and not affordable.
So what are we doing with this? I know your organization does a lot. So, you know, we're going to just use this show to just promote some of the great work that you're doing. But you have benefits access, because oftentimes when people can't get food, they can't afford it, there are programs available that can help them.
Yeah, and the campaign against hunger, we have been established since 1998, and we are in Bed-Stuy, but we have been able to serve 150 zip codes in the city. And so we
You said
came up with
150
zip
oh,
codes
okay,
in the
okay.
city.
All right, so it's more than just Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's more than
Okay,
definitely.
yes.
It's not, no, it's way over, because of course you want to know that families are not just primarily in Brooklyn that are food insecure, they're all over the city. And so we want to be able to make a difference there. And I found out that the best way to take care of such a problem, which is a problem, but is to how can we be impactful? And you want to be impactful, and you want to make a change, not just handing out a prepared bag, but get to understand who you're serving.
Right.
And that's where the benefit access comes in.
Now, you also talked, though, about the availability of food. How are you helping in that? Because to not have a decent grocery store in your neighborhood is a big problem.
Yeah, it is. And I just want to just go back and say the benefit access gives every client that walks in, and we're talking over 200 individuals that are food insecure, 30,000 per year, per month. And
So 200 a day,
yes,
30,000 a month.
Yeah,
Wow. Right.
and we'll talk about a little bit about some of the programs, but because there is no real supermarket in most of the areas,
Right.
and if there is, there's very little access to fresh fruits and vegetables, which is necessary if we're going to make sure that families live healthy lives and long lives. And so with not having ideal supermarkets as some neighborhoods.
And then they're really expensive in certain neighborhoods, too.
No, you're talking.
I remember buying in my neighborhood, because I go outside of my neighborhood to food shop, Miracle Whip, $7.49.
$7.49.
Yes, and I was like, what the heck, Miracle Whip?
Healthy.
No, it's not. Well, you know, food can be a habit. You know, I grew up on Miracle Whip. I'll die with Miracle Whip. But you're right.
But
You're right.
Toni, you said something that's a lot of people don't know, is that because of the gentrification in the neighborhoods,
Yep.
someone can live right beside that same supermarket and cannot go inside there, or even another store that has come into the neighborhood because of the same reason. Miracle Whip, over $7.
Exactly,
Wow.
exactly.
It's expensive, and just everything else.
How do you identify? You talked a little bit about the food for the families to make sure that it's appropriate for their families. Do you interview the families as they come in, or?
Yes, we do. We spend
Okay.
about 20 minutes per family. And not just trying to find out not just where they live, but who they live with. Are they afraid? What is their income, if any? Have they been to college? And sometimes you'll be so surprised how many individuals online have a bachelor's degree.
Wow.
And so we get a chance
Wow.
to see all
Right.
that. We get a full view, and then we talk about the health disparities, like is there diabetes in the family? Is there AIDS? Whatever it is. And so that 20 minutes is an opportunity to get to know the families get to know us and to trust us. And when they leave the campaign against hunger, they will leave with what we call maybe 3 or 4 gains. They will not only come and have food, but they'll leave with SNAP. They will leave with getting into one of the healthy workshops.
And SNAP is food stamps. I didn't
Yes.
realize. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
right.
So if you're able to offer those benefits, then is there an income requirement for your program, or do you service anybody who comes in?
Anyone that comes in, no matter who you are. Once you're on that line, we are willing to serve an hour.
And it's a pantry, is it not?
It
Because
is
I
a-
visited.
it's a little
It's
more
more than
now.
that. It's
Yeah.
more than that.
Yeah.
It's way more than that. Talk about how extensive your services are.
Well, we have a holistic approach, and we originally started out as a pantry, just a pantry, but then we recognized after many surveys, formal and informal, that families, if we're going to really make a difference, and that's what we want to do, we want to make a difference. And what we've done is that we have added programs that we thought were necessary to help the family to move forward and to become independent, to get a job, purchase home. And we'll talk about some of the success stories. But with some of the programs, we have urban farming. We have youth. We have a workforce program.
And let's talk about urban farming a little bit. 'Cause
I'm excited.
I know what urban farming is, but do our viewers all know what urban farming is?
Okay, so we have a total of an acre of land between Queens and Brooklyn. And on that, we have an ability to grow about over 100 species of fresh fruit, types of fresh fruits and vegetables. You can get from your kale to your collards. Think about a Swiss chard, anything different, maybe 6 different varieties of peppers or 10 varieties of tomatoes. So there's a lot of choices.
And aren't you
for
culturally
family.
appropriate too in
Oh,
your
yes.
growing? Talk about that.
Well, from my accent, I'm Jamaican. And so it is, every time we grow, we ask families in the area, what would you like to see us grow? Callaloo. I don't know how many.
I've had
Okay.
callaloo and
So-
cod
Yes, so callaloo is.
on a dumpling.
Oh. So callaloo is one of the specialities, and we can't grow enough, no matter how much you grow. And it's very expensive in the other stores, and where they can get it very low for us. So callaloo, Asian cabbage. We do some Nigerian food. Don't ask me the names yet. But we have done some things in the Nigerian family. We have done some for Asians. We have done, just a little. Have you ever had sorrel? Where we grow
Yes,
sorrel.
I love sorrel.
We grow sorrel. We grow ghost peppers. It's just a little of everything that's there. And then we have hydroponics and aquaponics on there. So we'll be growing fish, harvesting fish, and
Now, the
food on-
hydroponics is the fish, of course,
the
right?
no.
No, aqua, there you go, but that's all right.
Aqua is a fish.
So what does that, talk to us about what that looks like.
Well, we are in the learning stage right
Okay.
now. We're getting there with our youths learning how to do that. It is the ability to put, they call it fry young fish into the water and nurture them, making sure that the pH is correct, and watch these fish grow, then harvest it, and then we'll give it to the families. So it's a source of protein, because everyone now, they're kind of changing how they eat. And it took
There's a
us,
lot of
Toni-
attention being placed on what you're eating, way more than when I was a kid.
Correct.
And I'm almost embarrassed now because I believe in going to the supermarket, the grocery store. Now it's Whole Foods or they're all these, the farmer's market. My daughter shames me about my diet. Yeah, but but I grew up a certain way, like so many of us did with the supermarket.
Right. And what you just mentioned is what we're trying to do. Farmers market it's a beautiful experience. Great food, locally grown, organic. It's good, but it's expensive. So what we've done is that we've been able to grow our own food, and we do have our farmers market. Every week we have farmers market on the actual farm itself, and then we have a mobile market that carries to CUNY schools, for instance, Mega. Yes. Okay, so you can talk a little bit about that. Tell us about your experience.
So it was wonderful. First, I wasn't sure who they were targeting, and we thought it was just for the students.
Are you talking about the trailer that comes? Okay, yes,
It's
yes,
Fresh
yes.
Vibe,
Yes,
it's
I
Fresh
know.
Vibe
Right.
Market, and it's an
I
extended.
didn't know it was called Fresh Vibe. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Mega's been paying particular attention to food insecurity with the Transition Academy, and it's actually through the Transition Academy, I think that the vibe, Fresh Vibe Market comes, and it's like an extended cab, like a really big tour bus maybe.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it's like
with
a
the
tri-
insides
yes.
taken out and
Retrofitted.
And yes, for food. So
Right.
you get on and you go and you pick what vegetables and fruits you want, and they charge you almost nothing for it. And you can get a little bag if you want, or you don't take a bag if you want. You can come back. There's no limit.
Do you pay for it?
Yeah.
Okay,
But it's
all right.
not very much. The last time I went, I got 2 large bags of groceries for like $8. And it's all fruits and vegetables.
That's
I came home
great.
with lots of collard greens.
Right.
I came home with bananas. I had limes. It was eggplant. There was oranges.
She's making me hungry.
No, it's
Right.
really, and there's usually a line for it. And
Oh, excellent.
The students are online as well as people from the neighborhood, from Ebbets Field, from the houses.
And that's dealing with this whole issue around food insecurity and college students. And I was reading somewhere that close to 60,000 CUNY students are food insecure. What does that look like to have students that are food insecure? Does that mean that they're missing meals? Does that mean they don't have money for meals, or all of the above?
All the above.
Okay.
It's chaotic. It's a shame.
It's a shame.
It's a shame.
That's a shame.
You want to call it what it is. It's a shame
It
for
is.
students to be hungry, and you're expecting them to study, and then they do have part-time jobs, and they're working long hours and full-time in college and still can't make ends meet. They skip a lot of meals, and they've told us that.
And then they're in debt too.
Yeah.
So put that in there.
So yeah.
Right,
And
right.
so when they do have something to eat, it's the hoodles and noodles. And I'm not kicking hoodles and noodles per se, but it's not balanced. And so we are looking at young people who are now diabetic. Obesity
Oh, wow.
is
Right.
one of the things that you want to look at, because college kids are getting overweight. First year, they might starve themselves a little bit because they want to fit in, they want to. But after a while, we find that that's the population that needs attention, and this is why the Fresh Vibes Market is there. It is there to make sure that students have, and even faculties if they need to come on, but they have access to real good, clean food, because we get it directly from farmers, and to make sure that it's inexpensive. And we do work with Mega to make sure that there's a voucher program. So unbelievable. That's
Wow, is this going to be broadened? I mean, is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, so
this
we're
is
in
excellent.
Conversation now with other CUNY schools.
Are you focusing at all on the nutrition? Because it's great to get the food, but what if I don't know how to prepare it, or how to cook it, or how to use it in the way that would be most beneficial for my diet?
Very good. The campaign against hunger, on the same vehicle, we do have what we call, there is a demo area, and sometimes the chef is on board. And the chef goes through, and let's say college is the theme of the day, and she will saute and have samples plus recipes. And that same vehicle, it has the ability to, in a time of disaster, to make sure we can carry hot or cold meal anywhere across the city, to make sure families, or even simple as a NYCHA building, it has no water.
Right.
We're able to be there, and we've done that quite a few times, especially in the summer months.